Hey guys, welcome to Mystery Diagnosis.
But when Colin is around 3 months old,
he didn't appear to be feeling well, and by that evening, he would quickly spike a fever.
Runny nose, runny eyes, had problems breathing a bit, coughing.
Concerned, the Campbells take Colin to the pediatrician the following morning.
Sounded junky. He appeared to have some sort of sinus infection. She would put him on an antibiotic.
He would be sent home, and typically it's 7 or 10 days after that he would be better.
Oh my gosh, he's not better.
Colin returns home and, sure enough, begins to recover a few days later, but not for long.
He spikes another fever, same symptoms as before, runny nose.
This is helping go in Mystery Diagnosis.
Again, an antibiotic, and home we went.
But once again, the symptoms return. Whatever is happening, it appears to be chronic.
I'm wondering if it's lung issue.
Colin's coughing and junky sound persists for months. Then, one night, his breathing becomes even more labored than usual.
When Colin was 8 months old, he again had become very sick. And that night, his fever was so bad that I was just frantic. It felt different to me as a mom. He just seemed to be going downhill so fast I didn't know what to do.
Mary and John rush Colin back to the pediatrician.
He seemed a little shocked to see us. We didn't have an appointment.
She went to the doctor.
Campbell's to the closest hospital for an x-ray. The next day, the Campbells received the results of the x-ray.
They had found an air pocket on his lung, that it wasn't anything to be concerned about. Sometimes an occurrence after a child like himself had pneumonia. They had found an air pocket on his lung, that it wasn't anything to be concerned about. Sometimes an occurrence after a child like himself had pneumonia.
Continues to have difficulty breathing. After another consultation with the pediatrician, the Campbells decide to have him treated with a nebulizer.
I would do a different doctor.
It's a machine that has a mask that you put over his face, put in albuterol and another medicine called Zopanex.
It would open up his passage and help him breathe better, and those treatments helped.
Even with the nebulizer, Colin's respiratory ailments continue.
It wasn't like we had 2 or 3 days where he was starting to get sick. He would get sick and it'd be overnight, spike a fever.
One summer night, Mom Mary Campbell comes home late from a meeting and is horrified by what she finds.
Walked in the door. John is in our bedroom with Colin on the bed, looking very concerned. And I just remember taking one look at him and his little chest is collapsing.
He should have took him to the ER and called her.
Colin's nebulizer treatments, which helped his breathing in the past, are no longer working.
Very pale.
And he can hardly talk to me because his breathing is so labored. I said, let's go. We're taking him to the emergency room right now.
Thank you.
He had put the film up and you could see the shadow on his lung. And he said, if your son was 40 years old or 50 years old, I would tell you he has emphysema.
I'm trying to think of the medical term
But
for
he's a
the
2.5-year-old
lung
boy,
that's not
and I do not know
properly
what's wrong with your
developed.
son.
The dark spot is a complete mystery.
We got right on the phone and called the hospital and requested that it be made ready.
As soon as the earlier x-ray arrives, the doctors review it side by side with the new one. They are stunned by what they see. The air pocket they found in 8-month-old Colin is in exactly the same location as the black spot they see now.
And to me, it looks bigger. Maybe because he's... It's congenital cystic adenomatoid malformation.
Congenital cystic adenomatoid malformation is a birth defect in which a portion of lung tissue develops abnormally and becomes filled with cysts, or small fluid-filled cavities. When CCAMs develop, they can compress the good lung tissue and the heart, causing infections, breathing problems, and sometimes heart failure. Dr. Stockman tells the Campbells that Colin needs to have the abnormal portion of his lung removed immediately.
He had come and said that he had responded, very well to the surgery, that it had taken a little bit longer because it was a little bit bigger than they expected.
The size of the abnormality in Colin's right chest was approximately the size of an orange.
That's big.
And if you can imagine, in a 2-year-old, that's actually a fairly significant percentage of the total volume of the right chest.
Another thing the same way.
After 2 weeks of recovery, Colin is finally sent home. Today, Colin is as healthy and active as any 7-year-old.
He's a very bright child. He loves the sports. He loves reading.
This experience was my worst nightmare. I think it's made me a better mom.
I don't blame
We
you for saying
certainly
that.
don't take anything for granted anymore.
I'm glad he's better though.
He even said, a little while ago, I've only been to the doctors once or twice this year. It's like, perfect.
Yeah, that is perfect. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.